Now we're going to continue to look at circle equations, but we're going to write them by completing the square. So first, let's review completing the square. Right, so we used it with quadratics, and it was one of the ways that we solved quadratics. Alright, so to do it, first I want to get just my x terms on one side and my constant on the other. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I have x squared minus 4x, and then I'm going to add a box in here, just because we're going to figure out what goes in that box. And then 0 minus 9 is negative 9. Now I'm going to put something in the box on this side. Whatever I do to one side, I got to do to the other side. So I'm going to have that same box on the right. Now to figure out what goes inside that box, I'm going to take my b term, divide it by 2, and square it. So my b term in this case is negative 4. Well, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to put a 4 in both sides, in both boxes. Alright, so then on this side, I'm going to change it to write it as x plus or minus something squared. And then this side, negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. Okay, so now to figure out what goes inside the parentheses, we just do b divided by 2. Well, b was negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Alright, so now I've taken this quadratic in standard form and written it as x plus or minus a number squared. And we do that by completing the square. Another example, I want my x's on one side, my constant on the other, so I'm going to move the 10x over. Alright, so I have x squared plus 10x, and I'm going to add the box in, equals, on this side, negative 50 plus that same box. To figure out what goes in the box, we take half of b and square it. Well, half of b is 5. 5 squared is 25. Put a 25 on both sides. Alright, then I've got the left side, I'm going to write in something squared. Alright, on the right side, negative 50 plus 25 is negative 25. To figure out what goes in the parentheses, we just take half of b. Well, half of b is a positive 5. So then my answer, written as a binomial squared, is x plus 5 squared equals negative 25. So now I'm going to take those same steps for completing the square and use it to write an equation in standard form for a circle. Now remember, standard form for our square is x, or with our circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And we use this to graph because it's very simple. We have our center at hk, and then r is our radius. So we just find the center point and then go up, down, left, and right, distance of our radius, and then connect our points. When it's all multiplied out, it will look something like this, and I can't go straight to my center and radius. So we're going to complete the square to be able to write it as a binomial squared plus a binomial squared equals r squared. Okay, so to do that, just like before, I want to take this constant and move it to the other side. And then I also want to line up my x's and my y's. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to have x squared minus 2x. Right, and then I'm going to leave a little space in there. And I have plus y squared minus 4y, leave a little space, equals, and I add the 4 over, so I have a 4 on this side. Now I'm going to have to complete the square twice. I have to do it once for my x's and once for my y's. So I'm going to add the box in here for the x, and whatever I do on the left side, I have to do on the right side. So I'm going to add that same box. And then I'm going to do another box for the y's. And same thing, whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. So to start with, doing just the x's to complete the square. To figure out what goes inside the box, we have to do b divided by 2 squared. Well, for the x's, my b is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is a negative 1. And negative 1 squared is positive 1. So I put a positive 1 in both of the boxes. Okay, for the y's, again, b divided by 2 squared. Well, my b for the y's is a negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And then negative 2 squared is positive 4. So I put a positive 4 on both sides. Alright, now I'm going to rewrite each of my x's and then my y's as a binomial square. So it's going to be x plus or minus something squared plus y plus or minus something squared equals, and then over here, 4 plus 1 plus 4 is 9. So to figure out what goes inside the parentheses, I just do b divided by 2. So for the x's, my b is negative 2. Divided by 2 is a negative 1. Same thing for the y's. My b is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So now I have this equation, x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 9. If I were to multiply this all the way back out, I would get back to this equation we started with up here. But the way it's written now is what we call standard form, which helps us find the center and the radius of any circle. So my center is always the HK point. Remember, opposite sides when you're inside parentheses. So my center is at 1, 2. And the radius is the square root of whatever it's set equal to. And the square root of 9 is 3. If I wanted to graph that circle, I would go to 1, 2. And then I would go up 3, down 3, left 3, and right 3. And connect my points. And there's my circle.